So, next we have started with his own social networking platform with more than 1 million users. Let's hear from an inspiring community builder, Google developer expert with the keynote Pushing the Boundaries, the next era of global AI developments. We have Anubhav Singh, the Google developer expert.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah, let's have some energy. I know we have all had lunch and we are feeling very comfortable right now, but when you are in a tech conference, it can get boring if you guys are not participating. So I'll make sure that I get to wake up at least a few of you through this session. I have a lot of time, by the way, so you will have to bear with me. And hi, once again, I'm Anubhav Singh, co-founder Callchim.ai, Google developer expert for ML and GCP, a bunch of other things. If you're interested in any of them, do let me know after the session. I'm just loitering around here. You can catch me and we can talk about it. And good news, I have another skill on my portfolio. I added it very recently, around the time when I was sitting at the airport today, that I'm a musician. Thank you. And while I was going to the airport in the cab, I also added another skill. I'm also an artist. Uh, I create digital images using DALI. No, that's not all. I'm also an expert on geology. You can ask me anything about rocks, the way I'm rocking right now. That's a very lame joke, but yeah, let's bear with it. I have the mic. Anyway, I'm also a sort of a doctor. Uh, my list of credentials does not stop there. I'm also sort of a scientist, and yeah, recently I've been feeling a lot of things that I'm capable of pretty much anything. I can challenge any of you in your field of study using ChatGPT. Not myself, sorry. And this is the secret to my energy, right? I think yeah, I mean all of us have access to these tools, right? It feels fun. Everyone knows everything now. We are all Sheldon Cooper. Who gets that reference? Yes, couple of Big Bang Theory folks. Nice. Yeah, but do you not feel like this these days? Yes. How many of you feel like this? Okay, awesome. Oh, a lot of Doctor Strange in the house. Nice. We can build our own Avengers army. That's good to know. And but the question, right? The hype is real. How many of you think the hype is real? Yes, two supporters, three, four, five, six. Close contest? No. How many of you think the hype is not real? Yes, raising his hand very high. You're like this. Yes. Anyone else? Non-supporters. Non-supporters. I'm trying to divide the house. Yes. No. What about the rest of you? Neutral. Nota. None of the above. Okay. But this is a number from Grandview Research. The AI market as of 2024 is somewhere around 196.63 billion. This, by the way, a 3x growth from 2023 when it was somewhere around 60, and obviously manifold from the last 2 3 years, right? And this is definitely a lot of hype, right? And this is how the graph goes actually. If you look at the global annual AI software revenue, right? People who are building AI software. How many of you are building AI software in the house today? Building AI software or trying to build AI software, or you got a client requirement of AI software, anything which makes you work with AI as of today, do raise your hand high. Yes, there's something to be proud of. You are working in something which is posed to be the future of tech. Uh, but that is just me saying it. We'll have to take a look at the numbers, right? NVIDIA, by the way, NVIDIA is not an AI company first. It's not an AI company, but it has seen stellar growth, right? How many of you have observed NVIDIA stocks? Anyone has it? Yes, happy people, right? These are the people who are getting rich every day, right? So, this goes along with that. right? These are the AI companies, by the way: Microsoft, Google, Meta. We knew them for a very long time as the pioneers of AI, right? Google said that it has been AI since like 20 years, since forever, and then obviously some of them came along. But then Nvidia never said that they were in AI. Nvidia said we are selling the hardware you use for building AI, right? Yes. How many of you are trying to become similar to Nvidia by any chance? Not using LLM APIs, but rather providing LLM APIs. Anyone here doing that? No, not yet. Okay, hopefully you will be convinced by the end of this session that this is the smartest strategy. Um, but yes, the question remains, right. Are we there yet? How many of you have this question? Are we there yet? AGI, right? The holy grail of AGI. How many of you think we are there already? No, I see some people shaking their hands, like shaking their heads very slowly. What about the rest of you? How many of you are like saying that we have reached the time when we can have an AGI? No one. Okay, how many of you believe that it's not there yet? One half. Okay. Yes, there in the back. Okay. A very confused room. That is what I read. And let me help you by confusing you a bit more. Here's a video of a steam train on a bridge. Interestingly, this video, yeah, it's playing all right. It's very blurry. Let me try playing this again. Uh, so, what do you think? This video, is it real or is it AI? Real? Oh, you can actually see that. That's sad. Yeah. So, how do I show it? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that was Sora. Obviously, it's probably one of the latest entrants in crazy stuff that AI can do. But then there's also this we need to look at August 2023. There was a recruiting AI built by a company, and it simply started rejecting all the candidates, all the male candidates above 60, and all the female candidates above 55. Uh, Not a great thing to have, right? Not a great thing to have. And yes, similarly, you probably know what this is. Can anyone take a guess? Dali. No, just because I said I'm an artist because of Dali does not mean this is done by Dali. And any other guesses? Mid Journey. Okay. Anyone else? Sorry. Okay, I have not heard of that probably, or maybe I can't get it properly. This is Stable Diffusion, right? This is where it started actually, right? Everyone then started doing variations of Stable Diffusion, and we got a lot of applications around this Hugging Face built diffusers, and everyone is working with lightweight, more and more lightweight versions of Stable Diffusion, which can do more and more crazy stuff. Right? So that said, this is also an example, right? Some success, some failure. Turns out training your bot on Twitter interactions is not a great idea. Recently, another company learned very nicely in the last couple of weeks that it's not a good idea to train your data set on Reddit comments. Anyone knows which company was that? Someone said it. Yes, they trained their data sets on Reddit comments, and they gave a lot of very interesting output. Uh, yeah, but anyway, bad data set, not a good idea. And then let's take another look at this video. Okay, the audio probably does not come out. So this was done using Google's Music FX, and yeah, I'm not sure why it's not displaying properly. But this is where I started my DJ journey with, right? And then obviously there's this interesting thing, right? All of this is 2023, 2024. I'm not talking about like 10 years back, 12 years back. Whatever I'm talking about is probably something which happened in the last 12 months or less, right? This is not a good idea, right? A bot suggesting how to build chemical weapons. Yeah, probably something like this, but yeah, not a good idea, right? How many of you are confused at this point? What I'm trying to prove? Is it good? Is it bad? Yes? You're confused? A bit? Okay. Someone more confused than a bit? Yes, yes, very confused. He has given up. He's like, oh no. Okay. Anyone else? Is it good? Is it bad? No? Okay. I have a question at this point, which is not in my slides. It's just something which came to my mind right now. What is good? What is bad? Killing a mosquito, is it good? Is it bad? Good for us, bad for the mosquito. If we kill enough mosquitoes, the whole world's balance will be lost and it will be bad for us. So, should we kill a mosquito or not? Yes? You want to destroy the world's balance? Are you supporting destroying the world's biological ecosystem? So, in a limited way. Okay, okay. That is very controversial. In a limited way. We could also start killing people to reduce world's population burden in a limited way. We are doing that. Okay. I'm not sure what your experiences are. I do not have that sort of experience. What is good? What is bad? Does anyone have any opinion about this? You all have mics right now in front of you. You can use them. I see a lot of I see a lot of senior
Nothing
people.
promotes the survival of the earth and biological things that can be considered as good in the long term, not for short term profits.
I think a lot of people will agree with me. If we could reduce the human population by half, the Earth would benefit a lot.
I would agree.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Anything that doesn't, yes,
Sorry. Where? Yes.
anything that doesn't affect the environment or a person or something, a living being, is good. Then the vice versa is good.
If I use AI to financially scam you,
When
it
talking
does
to
not affect the environment.
yeah, when talking to AI, if you train the model in a good data set, it is going to give a good output. And if you're going to train a data set as a bad, of course, you're going to give a bad output.
My question comes back to the same thing. What is good? What is bad? Right? I train a chatbot which is good at sales. It sells you a pen for 1,000 rupees, and that pen actually sells for 5 rupees. But my requirement was of 1,000 rupees to survive this day. Did it do good or did it do bad?
Actually, good and bad is respect
Yeah.
to each person.
Yes.
Like everyone has their own good and bad. So it is um, my good may not be others' good. Like
How?
if I kill mosquito, that's not the good of the mosquito. Like that, everyone has in this kind of situation, everyone is having their own goods and bads.
Okay.
I think we can say we need a balance because we can't just do away with the bad altogether. Good and the bad must balance itself in a ratio that is stable. Because if it gets too good, I mean, something. I mean, if everybody becomes selfless, and then probably we will lose our mechanism to detect cheating and all that. So we need it. Personally, the corporation who are selfish and would commit crime to maintain this ability. Otherwise, they were like dodos normally. Like when some predators come, we won't be prepared to fight because we have forgotten how to fight.
We need arms to maintain peace. Right? That sort of logic. Yeah.
So can we ask ChatGPT itself? So it will be better, right?
Yeah, probably it will have a very interesting answer to that. Okay, thank you. See, I totally agree with all of you, to be honest, right? I am going to be that neutral guy. What I want to point out is if we are not able to even form a consensus within humans, how are you going to expect it from a bot, which does not have emotions and emotional intelligence like us, right? And that is why, how the bot is trained makes a lot of difference in how it is going to perform, right? The data set which is going in, the skew of the data set which might have gone unobserved, and a lot of times even if for you the data set looks perfectly balanced, it may not represent the true nature of human society, right? Let's say if we have a data set which has equal number of views of both the left wing and the right wing in any sort of context, in a country, in a debate, or whatever it may be, equal amount of data coming in, right? And the model learns to be absolutely neutral, right? Is that a good thing? It might not be a good thing. Sometimes one of the parties might be wrong, right? The left wing might be wrong, the right wing might be wrong. We don't know who. But the bot learning to be absolutely neutral, it will not help the humans at the end of the day. No, right? So whatever we talk about in the rest of this talk, in the rest 15 minutes or so, whatever I have left, you need to keep in mind whenever we talk about AI, there's a lot of data set factor which is going in, and that factor may not always be the fault of the people who have created it, but also it could be because of the inherent biases of the whole human society, right? So a particular gesture might be very welcome in India, that same gesture might not be welcome in different countries. You cannot do anything about that. The model is trained on all of this. Maybe that country has a population of 100 people, we have a population of 1 billion. Just because there are 1 billion data points saying that this is the correct gesture does not mean in that country it will become the correct gesture. No, the people there will still see it as wrong. But just because the data set was higher here and lower there, the model learned it as the correct gesture, right? If today you ask an AI bot to draw the map of India, this is an example I'm taking just from yesterday. I was scrolling through some of the comments on social media, and someone pointed out to an AI model that, hey, your model is not drawing the correct map of India. Right? So maybe there is some nuance which is acceptable in India, but not outside. And similarly, something which is acceptable to the country where that bot was trained, but not acceptable in India. Right? You cannot really make an AI which is correct on all factors. Right? So that's not possible. Yeah, someone will have to again do that. Bring it back thing. Sure. Can we bring that back? Yeah. Yes. So to continue that same thought, so that same line of thought, right? Whatever developments are happening, they are good in mostly only one context, and they are probably not great at others, right? You need to keep this in mind when you are building software which uses AI. When you are developing AI powered solutions, the first thing that you have to keep in mind is that whatever you are developing has to be down to that one particular problem statement which you are trying to solve. If you try to solve for everyone and everything, it will need a lot of thought. That said, this is what AI mostly encompasses as people who are directly affected by it, right? The people, like the common man, us. Then there's the government, governing agencies, administrations, investors, and businesses. All of them have different kind of expectations from AI, right? And it's really important for AI to cater to all of these at the same time. And trust me, if you replace the AI there with any name, like any random technology name, it has to cater to all of them. That is how technologies grow. If a technology caters only to a particular segment and leaves out the rest, it will probably fail at some point. It will hit some hurdles. Look at crypto money, right? It does not go down well with governments who want to regulate the financials, right? So it probably solves a lot of things for a lot of people, but does not go well with the business, like the governments, right? So let's first talk about people. I have been told I have 5 minutes, and there's actually not a lot of slides here. So let's talk about the people and something like this, right? People are worried that AI will take over the world, AI will take away jobs, whatnot, right? AI will do all my schoolwork for me. I will not study and I'll become a genius, things like those. But then AI is just what you make out of it, right? If you train it poorly, it will perform poorly. It's not magic. And then let's take a look at the government. The government has an expectation of something which is as cute and as playable as Aibo, right? It's simple, it's easy to understand, it does not hurt anyone, everyone loves it. But then that happens as well, right? AI can do that as well. So AI is also playful, AI is also, so like, can create problems, like major problems, citing fake laws. There have been instances of that as well. And if you look at the investors are very interesting. Any investor in the house? People who put money in AI companies. These two images are basically about the same company, right? And pretty much everyone in the world is calling it a scam. But at the same time, it has also raised 30 million in funding. What does it show? Investors are scared of the image on the left. Investors love the image on the right. People will see that, okay, hey, this startup raised 30 million. Probably I should put some millions as well. But then they see this image. And even then they will invest in companies which come out of AI. So it's an interesting landscape for people who are investing in AI. And if you look at businesses, obviously businesses have their own challenges, right? 82% of business leaders surveyed in 2024 uh, have already developed or are intending to develop AI-based solutions this year. But at the same time, training a very small 7 billion model, 7 billion parameter model, costs somewhere around 85,000 USD. And let's just forget about image models, right? So the text model itself is that costly. Image models are way more costly, right? Many folds. It's really not possible for people who do not have a lot of money to train models like this. And even with a lot of money, we saw all the AI fails earlier. What will you do if you spend, let's say, 100 million in training a model and it starts spewing out random stuff taken out of Reddit comments? Right? Not all businesses can afford that. If you have spent 100 millions, you want to get at least 1 billion back. But then, yes, let me simplify the stuff that I was talking about earlier: people, government, businesses, investors. Let me boil it down and make it simpler for us, right? For the people in this room. And how I do it is I simply replace them with four other parameters, right? Utility, safety, return on investment, and cost. This makes much more sense to us, right? Instead of having to worry about everyone outside this room, let us just focus on ourselves. And for utility, right? I think I'll just read the first line: build what the market wants, not what you fancy. How many of us are developers in this room? We love building crazy stuff, right? We want to build all the fanciest to do apps which no one uses. How many of you have done that? You have a personal to do app which is very, very cool, very, very fancy, does all the AI stuff. No one else wants to use that. You tell your friends, hey, look, this is something cool I made. They show you Notepad and they will like, I write it on Notepad. Happens. We build fancy stuff. We like building fancy stuff. No, build something which sells, right? If you want to start your own business, if you want to maybe become an indie developer, a standing alone developer, uh, and probably the last line, which how many of you are by any chance WordPress developers here? WordPress, they're still making money out of it. PHP is dead. PHP is dead. People said this 10 years back. People said this 10 years back. Java is dead. How many of you have heard of that? Java is dead. In your college life, probably in everyone's college life, the third year and fourth year seniors told you Java is dead, don't do it. How many of you have worked with Java here? Raise your hands high, nothing to be ashamed about. It still runs on 3 billion devices, right? Nothing is dead. People are still using those products. People are still building legacy systems. People still work with PHP, and there's money to be made. PHP developers, good PHP developers are so hard to come by today that anyone with 3 or 4 years of experience can demand for something like 15, 20 LPA just at the starting, right? So let's not worry about what's mundane, what's boring, what does not excite us. If it makes money, build it. If you're a founder, go and build something which sells. Don't worry about where the fancy world is going. Safety, yes. How many of you worry about the safety of your product at the very starting? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 4.5. You were like, yes, but this should be your top priority. If you're working with AI, see, normal software development, I understand. You can build the whole stuff, add a security layer later. You can add your API gateways, put security there. But with AI, you cannot do that. Garbage in, garbage out. You put in images of, all the incidents in history being carried around by people of color, and then when you ask for the 7 founders of America, you will get the response in people of color, right? That actually happened with someone. So do not do that, right? Safety is the first thing. Keep that in mind when you are developing an AI model, creating your own data set. Safety is the first thing you need to take care about. Whether you are by mistake breaching someone's copyright or privacy or things like those, worry about that while you are creating your data set. Return on investment. Uh, yes, I'll again read the first line. You either sell a lot or scale or do both. But if you do neither, then shut it down. Right? If whatever product you have made is neither scaling nor selling a lot, try to shut it down as soon as possible, because AI can burn a hole for you. If a lot of people start using it, if you get a huge amount of demand, but you are neither able to scale nor able to sell it for a good return on investment, you will go down. And history has told us the same thing over and over again. Look at Stability AI. Go and research about that if you have not. Stability AI built great products, Stable Diffusion, right? It made it open source, wasn't able to sell it for a cost. Boom. Right? And yes, don't build a tank to crush an ice cream cone. For a simple task, don't use an AI to do it. Don't use Gemini for doing 2 plus 3. Right? You can do that with the calculator. You can build a normal arithmetic program to do that. Every language supports 2 plus 3. Why will you use Gemini to do that? So if you're building, a lot of people build edtech tools these days which solve mathematical problems for you. You probably don't need AI for that. Wolfram Alpha was doing it like 15 years back. You can build something like that. You don't have to use Gemini for it, right? And then obviously cost, right? Cost is a major problem. If you can solve this, you're probably going to be in the lead. That if you can build a ML model correct in one go, I will really bow down to you, because it's really difficult to come up with the correct data set with the correct model parameters to train it in one go and get it absolutely right. Even the most seasoned people do not, right? So yes, that. And then finally, yes, get a ML team which is happy to learn more. Machine learning domain is changing almost every day. If you have a machine learning team which is not ready to upgrade, they are probably the wrong people on the team. You need people who are very happy to read and study new stuff every day. At the same time, whatever you are building, make sure its maintenance cost is not high. See, your building cost could be high. AI takes a lot of money to build, but once you have built it, its maintenance and running it smoothly, that should not be costly. Because if that becomes costly, then you will have to scramble for money. That said, yes, let's come to the conclusion. This is all I conclude with, right? AI is not magic, it is mathematics. use it like mathematics, right? Please do not think about AI will do so and so for me. It's all maths, it's all in the data, it's all in what has gone into it and the kind of mathematics you are doing to bring out the result. Do not think of it as anything more. Like train it, sorry, understand it exactly like you do with maths. If you put in garbage, you will get garbage. And if you put in the good stuff and you have your formulas correctly, you will get the right result. Finally, yes, preparing for the future for those of you who want to have a career in AI. Some things which I'll share because I've been in AI field for almost 10 years now, and this is what I have gathered over the years. Follow the right AI influencers, the people who write code, the people who talk about the maths behind it. Do not just follow people who create reels about fancy products. That is not the correct AI influencer to follow. Follow the people who actually do the stuff, right? And read a lot, read every day. Take out some time every day to read some papers, read some latest blog posts which have come out of companies which are working in AI. And yes, keep thinking about its possible applications everywhere, because a lot of possible applications of AI have still not been thought about, and a lot of people have still not touched them. So you can do that. That said, here are some resources. You can click on these links once I share the deck with you. And that is all. Thank you. You can get connected with me on pretty much any platform. I have the same username everywhere. And you can get the deck by scanning that QR code. You can take a photo of it for sake of being faster. And I have one last QR code to share. Okay, can we move forward? Okay, wait. Cool. I'd love some feedback from you. So if you can fill this form, that would be amazing. You can probably take a photo of it, fill it while we are preparing for the next session, or else you can just fill it. It's a very short form. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. That was thought provoking.